All right, so today we're going to be looking into AI sensors.
Ooh, very cool.
Yeah, and you've brought us some really interesting research on it.
Yes.
Basically, we're talking about sensors that can kind of think for themselves, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So not just collecting data, but actually making decisions based on that data.
So like right there on the spot.
Right there on the spot.
Yeah, exactly.
And so when I saw this, I thought, future's now, like, we're really in it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
So to start off, like, why is this shift to edge AI such a big deal?
Yeah, so, well, I think the biggest thing is that it enables much faster responses because the data is being processed locally on the device.
Okay, so it doesn't have to, like, go to the cloud and then come back.
Exactly,
Yep.
yeah. So, for example, like in a self-driving car, that could be, the difference between, avoiding an accident or not.
Right, milliseconds matter there.
Exactly.
But I do have a question about this, though. Like, all this processing power on these tiny little sensors, like, doesn't that just kill the battery? Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, it kind of has the opposite effect because you're not constantly sending data back and forth to the cloud.
Oh,
So you're actually saving energy there, and it's also way more reliable because even if you lose your internet connection, you can still, the device can still function.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because if it has to phone home to the mothership every time, it's going to be a lot slower and more prone to problems.
Exactly.
So it's like faster, more reliable, and better for battery life.
Pretty much, yeah. So who's making all this cool stuff? Who are the companies behind these, like, tiny thinking machines?
Yeah. So one of the companies that's really leading the charge here is Microelectronics.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. They've developed some really innovative ways to integrate AI directly into their sensors.
So what are some examples, like what kind of cool tech are they putting into these things?
Yeah. So they have these modules called MLC and FSM,
Okay.
which stands for Machine Learning Core and Finite State Machine.
Okay, I'm not going to remember that.
You don't have to remember.
But basically, they act like mini brains for the sensors.
Oh.
So they allow them to do things like activity recognition without needing an external processor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you'll find this in a bunch of their sensors, like the LSM6DSO16IS and the ASM330LHHX.
And what kind of devices use those?
Yeah, so those are used in smartphones, cars, all sorts of IoT devices.
Okay, so that's how my fitness tracker knows that I'm running versus walking.
Exactly, yeah, without having to be connected to your phone.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I've also heard about this thing called the ISPU. What is that?
Yes, the ISPU. So that stands for Intelligent Sensor Processing Unit.
Keiichi.
Yeah, it's basically like they've squeezed an entire computer onto a tiny chip that
Oh,
fits right inside the sensor.
what?
Yeah, and it's incredibly power efficient.
So they have a little computer on the sensor itself
Yes,
that can run like complex AI.
exactly.
Okay, that's pretty next level.
Yeah, and they've started integrating it into some of their newer sensors, like the LSM6DSO16IS and the ISM330.
So what would be an example of what that can do that the other ones couldn't?
Yeah, so imagine like a security camera that can tell the difference between a harmless squirrel and an actual intruder.
Oh, wow.
And it can do that all on the device itself.
Without having to send all the footage to the cloud.
Exactly. Yeah. So huge privacy implications there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm officially impressed.
Yeah.
ST is really like pushing the limits there. But they're not the only ones doing this, right?
Oh, no. There's tons of other companies.
Okay.
Another one that's doing some really interesting work is Bosch Sensor Tech.
Bosch? Okay.
Yeah, you probably know them from their, appliances and power tools.
Yeah?
But they also have a huge sensor division.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they're really focusing on how edge AI can revolutionize health and fitness.
Ooh, okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Yeah, so they developed this tiny sensor system called the BHI360,
Okay.
and it's a powerhouse. It can handle everything from gesture recognition to 3D audio experiences.
Okay, hold on. So what do you mean by 3D audio experiences?
Yeah, so imagine like you're wearing headphones and you're listening to music and it sounds like you're actually in a concert hall.
Whoa.
Yeah, they can do that with this sensor.
So it's using AI to kind of trick my ears.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But what about the fitness part? How are they using AI sensors to like help us get in shape?
Yeah, so they partnered with a company called Motusi to create their smart connected sensors platform.
Okay.
And basically this platform uses AI-powered sensors to capture incredibly detailed movement data.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it can give you personalized insights and guidance right on your wrist.
So it's like having a personal trainer on your wrist, but not annoying.
Exactly. Yeah, and all of this processing happens right there on the sensor, so it's super efficient and keeps your data private.
Okay, so privacy is a big theme here, which is really good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So this is Bosch.
That's Bosch.
But now we got to talk about Sony.
Oh, yes.
They have this image sensor, the IMX500.
The IMX500. Yeah, this is a really interesting one.
Yeah. So what makes this one so special?
Well, it's not just a camera sensor. It's practically like a mini supercomputer that can understand the images that it captures.
Really?
Yeah, and to make things even crazier, they've managed to pack all this processing power directly onto the sensor itself.
Wait, so it's like a camera and a computer in the same chip?
Yes.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, I need to know more about this, but I think you got to save it for the next part.
Yes. Let's take a break and we'll come back to that.
Sounds good.
All right.
Stay tuned, everybody.
We'll be right back.
Okay, so we're back, and we're talking about this Sony IMX500.
Yes.
And you were saying it's not just about taking pictures, it's about actually understanding them.
Exactly. Yeah, I can process information right there on the sensor.
Okay, so how does that even work? How do they fit so much processing power on this tiny little thing?
Well, imagine like a skyscraper, right? Where each floor has a specific function.
Okay.
They've basically created a similar structure, but on a microscopic scale.
What?
Yeah, so one layer captures the image, another layer is dedicated to AI processing and memory.
So it's like a tiny little high-tech skyscraper.
Exactly.
Analyzing images super fast.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for, like, me as a user? What's the benefit of having all this AI happening right there on the sensor?
Okay, so imagine you have a smart home security camera.
Okay.
With this IMX500 built in.
Okay.
It can tell the difference between, say, a tree branch swaying in the wind and someone actually trying to break into your house.
Okay.
But here's the key. It doesn't have to send all that video footage to the cloud to make that decision.
Oh, so it's all happening right there on the device.
Right there on the spot, yeah.
So that's huge for privacy.
Huge for privacy, yeah.
Because I'm not sending all my data to who knows where.
Exactly.
But what about speed? Is this real-time processing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it can, like, make decisions in a fraction of a second.
Yeah, think about self-driving cars. They need to react super fast to changing road conditions.
Right.
And the sensor makes that possible.
Okay, that's incredible. And you mentioned efficiency, too. How does on-sensor processing save energy?
Yeah, so instead of sending, tons of raw data to the cloud, it only transmits the essential information.
So it's not sending, like, every single frame of video.
Exactly, yeah. It's just sending, like, car detected or person approaching.
Okay. So it's like it's filtering out all the noise.
Yeah, it's super efficient.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So this IMX500 really feels like the future of AI sensors.
It's pretty amazing tech, yeah.
But what's next? What's coming down the pipeline?
Well, one area that's really taking off is predictive maintenance.
Predictive maintenance, what's that?
So imagine a sensor that can listen to the hum of a machine.
Okay.
And tell you when it's likely to break down.
Oh, wow.
Even before any visible signs appear.
So it's like predicting the future.
In a way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this could prevent costly repairs, ensure smooth operation of all sorts of equipment.
Oh, wow. I can see that being useful in, like, factories and stuff.
Factories, airplanes, wind turbines, you name it. Really? So it's like having a crystal ball for your machines.
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the healthcare industry is another area that's ripe for disruption.
Okay, how so?
Well, imagine wearable sensors that can detect tiny changes in your vital signs.
Okay.
And alert you to potential health problems before they become serious.
So it's like having a little health guardian with you all the time.
Exactly, yeah.
That's amazing.
And we're only just scratching the surface here.
So AI sensors could be used for, like, almost anything.
Yeah, pretty much environmental monitoring, smart agriculture, you name it.
It's like we're entering a world where everything is smart.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But all this talk about sensors and data makes me think about privacy, too.
Right.
Like, is there a risk that all this information could be misused?
Yeah, that's definitely a valid concern, and it's something we need to be very careful about.
Okay, so how can we make sure that our data is protected?
Well, a lot of the companies developing these sensors are prioritizing privacy by design.
So they're building in safeguards from the very beginning.
Exactly. Yeah. For example, many of them process the data locally on the device.
Oh, okay, so it never even has to leave my phone or my fitness tracker.
Exactly. Yeah, so your personal information stays private.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the industry is taking privacy seriously.
I think I have to. Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's essential for building trust with users.
All right, so we've talked about the amazing potential of AI sensors,
Yeah.
but now let's talk about the business side of things.
Okay.
You mentioned this market is booming.
Oh, yeah, it's exploding.
So just how big is this industry getting?
Well, by 2028, experts predict that the global AI sensor market will be worth $98 billion.
$98 billion.
Yeah, that's more than the GDP of some countries.
That's insane. What's driving that kind of growth?
Well, a few things. The cost of developing these sensors is coming down.
Oh,
So they're becoming more affordable for more industries.
right.
And at the same time, we're generating more data than ever before. And AI sensors are the key to unlocking the insights from all that data.
So it's like a perfect storm, cheaper technology, more data, and a growing need for insights.
Exactly.
No wonder this market is taking off.
It's a really exciting time to be following this technology.
It really is. After this deep dive, I'm not just impressed, I'm inspired.
Good.
It's amazing to think that these tiny devices are changing the world in such a big way.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
And it feels like we're just getting started.
Oh, yeah, we're just at the beginning.
Okay, so before we wrap things up, I want to touch on some of the potential challenges and ethical considerations with AI sensors.
Okay, fair.
All right, so we're back, and I'm still thinking about that Sony IMX500.
It's pretty wild, right?
Yeah, like it really feels like we're on the cusp of something huge with AI sensors.
Absolutely. And it's not just about cool tech, it's about solving real-world problems.
Right, exactly. So before we went to this little interlude, you were talking about how AI sensors could transform industries like healthcare and manufacturing.
Wow.
Can you give us some more concrete examples of what that would actually look like?
Yeah, for sure. So in healthcare, imagine wearable sensors that can constantly monitor your vital signs.
Okay, like what kind of vital signs?
Heart rate, blood pressure, even blood sugar levels.
Okay, but without like needles and stuff.
Exactly. No more invasive procedures.
So it's like having a tiny doctor on your wrist all the time.
Yeah, pretty much keeping an eye on your health 24/7.
That would be a game changer for like managing chronic conditions.
Absolutely. And all that data could be analyzed by AI to spot patterns and give you personalized advice.
So it's like a virtual health coach too.
Yeah, exactly. Guiding you towards a healthier lifestyle.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about manufacturing? How would AI sensors change things there?
So picture this a factory where every machine has AI sensors built in.
Okay,
They're constantly monitoring performance, predicting when something might break down.
so no more unexpected downtime.
Exactly. You could fix things before they even become a problem.
That would save so much money and hassle.
Yeah. And boost efficiency across the board.
And this predictive maintenance idea could be used in other areas too.
Oh, absolutely. Bridges, airplanes, wind turbines, anything with moving parts, really.
So we could prevent like major disasters.
Exactly. AI sensors could help us catch those issues early on.
That's incredible. It's like we're moving towards a world where everything is monitored and optimized.
Yeah, in a way we are. It's all about making things safer, more efficient, more sustainable.
But with all this monitoring and data collection, I got to ask about privacy.
Right, of course, it's a valid concern.
Like, is there a risk that all this information could end up in the wrong hands?
Well, the good news is that a lot of companies are really focused on privacy by design.
Okay, what does that mean?
So they're building safeguards into the technology from the very beginning.
Okay, give me an example.
For instance, many AI sensors process the data locally on the device itself.
Oh, so my data never even leaves my watch or my phone.
Exactly, it stays private and secure.
That's reassuring.
Yeah, I think it's essential if we want people to trust this technology.
Absolutely. Okay, so it sounds like the industry is taking privacy seriously.
Yeah, they're definitely aware of the concerns.
Well, that's good to hear because I'm really excited about the potential of AI sensors.
Me too. It's a game changer for so many industries.
It really is, and I think we've only just scratched the surface of what's possible.
Oh yeah, this is just the beginning.
Well, this has been an amazing deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for sharing your expertise with us.
Anytime.
And to all our listeners out there, we hope this conversation has inspired you to learn more about the incredible world of AI sensors, because who knows what amazing innovations are just around the corner.
The future is bright.
That's it for this episode of The Deep Dive.
Until next time.
Stay curious, everyone.